everybody. My name is Brisa Del Mar, and I'm the founder of Women to Women, and I'm so excited to have this woman with us today. She's energetic, loving, she's passionate about holistic wellness, and of course, she's a yoga teacher and a mindfulness coach. She loves to empower entrepreneurs to elevate success in their personal and professional life. So let's just welcome to our guest today, Molly. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you. It's just really amazing how I've been seeing you since I know you, I guess, last year, I believe so.
Yes.
And I remember we were talking about when you were working, I guess, in the corporate area, something like that. And then you were talking about starting your own practice. So tell me, how did it happen? What was the aha moment when you knew this is what I want to do for myself?
Well, it's kind of need to backtrack. So I've been doing yoga for 10 years and practicing mindfulness and meditation for a long time. And I really wanted to get into wellness and mindfulness, but I never knew how or what it looked like, or I thought, oh, I can't be a yoga teacher because X, Y, and Z. But I just started a new job as the regional manager for a women's coaching firm, which is very aligned with what I do now. But while I was working there, I told my girlfriend, Leah, oh, next time I'm between jobs, like maybe when I'm done with this company, I want to become a yoga teacher and I want to work in mindfulness, because it was just coming up a lot in my position there, because I would talk to women that we were coaching and working with and training about their mindfulness practices, and that's what I would always bring up. And I thought to myself, this is really cool. I would love to get into this. And the universe said yes. And unfortunately, a week later, the company shut down the region in Chicago.
Wow.
And so it was really fast. It was always kind of there, like the seedlings. I was planting them and thinking about it. But the moment that the region shut down, I knew, okay, well, now is the time. It wasn't expected. It wasn't planned, but I need to make action. I need to do something. And I knew that this is what I really wanted to get into. And so I started building my website. I started creating business cards and the Instagram for Wellness with Molly, and I just went full speed ahead, and I knew I'm going to try a bunch of different things. I'm going to see what sticks. It's all about persistence and continuing to try and experiment and see what works and what I like. And yeah, that's kind of how it started.
That's really amazing. So what I hear is you were some kind of a stable job, and then suddenly it disappeared, and that kind of give you the wake-up call into, okay, this is the time for me to do something for myself.
Yes, I was really passionate about taking control of my career and not working for someone else and not doing exactly what I wanted to be doing. But I decided I need to work for myself and do what I want to be doing, partner with other amazing companies and work with other amazing people to do the work that I want to do. And when I started, it was a lot to manage anxiety and depression. And honestly, it has been the best thing. And especially as I got older and seasonal depression started to affect me more, I would always go to yoga class no matter how bad the weather was, knowing I'm going to feel better after this because I'm going to have this movement, this meditation, this mindfulness time to really work through things. And there are so many different kinds of yoga I would do. I would do restorative, which is much slower, and vinyasa if I really needed to move around. And honestly, it helped everything. I've been able to manage my stress, anxiety, depression through yoga and meditation because it really helps you focus on your present awareness, because anxiety is you're thinking about the future, you're worrying about the future. Depression, you're thinking about the past, you're stuck in that space. But yoga and meditation helps you bring to your center and to your present awareness. And so the more you can practice that, the more often it becomes kind of second nature. So if you're meditating once a week and you keep doing it, and then you start doing it 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, and you notice yourself when you're riding the bus, when you're cutting vegetables, when you're taking a walk, you're meditating because you are becoming more natural in that state of present awareness and mindfulness. And it takes a lot of time, and we always go up and down and have some moments where we fall off the horse. But when you can bring yourself back to that center, then you're able to, I think, function in a healthier way and manage unhealthy feelings and emotions a little bit better. Thinking back, for the first time that I really experienced this was in college. I've always been the person that wanted to be a part of everything and go to every meeting and club and like do all the things. And I was a part of a bunch of different organizations, and I was director of students for a program, and I was running at 110%, and I feel like I was only giving myself 60% of rejuvenation. So I was basically running on almost empty. I was just like running myself into the ground. I would fall asleep on phone calls. It was insane. I was just running on empty, and that was a huge point in my life where I thought, okay, I need to get back into yoga, because I started earlier than that, but you go up and down, you get into things, you fall out of it, and I knew, like, I need to get back into this. I need to get back into mindfulness. I need to, this is the thing that needs to keep me going. And it really helped me recenter and reevaluate and set time for myself and being gentle with myself. And then, again, after college, when I was working in corporate America, running on empty, seasonal depression, all the things, and I knew, okay, I need to continue to do something. And I got back into yoga, and I would go again no matter how bad the weather was, because I knew that I needed it to feel better and to work through some things and to let myself feel my feelings, because sometimes you need a space to do that. You need a space to release, and sometimes it's good to release and take those things out in a space that's not your home, so you can kind of leave it there, sort of like therapy. You're like getting all your stuff out and you leave it there and you're able to walk away clean. It's the same in a yoga class. You're like getting all the things out, you're like working through your energy, you're working through all these things, and you're able to leave it there and take all the good energy with you when you leave.
Yes. Totally relate.
Hear other people say how they feel after a workshop, after a class that I give, that really tells me, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. But I think more importantly, it's how I feel during and after and before. I get so excited before I teach a class because I just love it so much. It's nothing I've ever experienced before. I love teaching yoga. I love going to yoga classes. I love meeting other yoga teachers. I love it all. And just the excitement I feel. I love connecting with my students. And then when I'm teaching, I feel so empowered and alive. And then afterwards, when I feel the energy in the room change, and when students and I talk about their experience in class or in a workshop, it feels really, really great. And I just feel so energized by it. And I think you know that you're doing the right thing when you kind of can't turn it off, which isn't always a good thing. But you always want to be working. You see something, you're like, oh, that would be good for Wellness with Molly. Oh, this, oh, that. And you're just like always making lists, always seeing things, always inspired. And that's a really good thing. But it's also important, and I'm learning for myself, to take a day off, especially when I work on the weekends doing workshops or events or something. I make sure that I pick a day during the week where I have nothing planned and I just block it off. Because if I'm not full and rejuvenated, then I can't help anyone. I don't have the right energy to be a complete human, and I need to take the time to rejuvenate and recharge. Say it's mostly women, but like when it comes to events and things, sometimes I'm surprised at how many men come, because in general, men aren't as attracted to yoga. But there are some events where there are 5 or 6 men. And once I taught a yoga class that was 7 people, and there were 5 men, 2 women. So it surprises me. And I think more and more men are getting into it, which is really good. But I think for most of like coaching and my wellness day events and like smaller events that are more geared towards mindfulness or body positivity and things like that, it can be mostly women.
Why do you think is that?
It's funny because yoga started in India as a practice only for men because it was seen as a way to get close to their gods. And it was like a religious thing, and only men were allowed to practice, only men were allowed to learn how to do yoga. But then, slowly and slowly, I think it became more inclusive, especially when a lot of Indians came here and brought it to the America and Canada and stuff like that. I think part of me thinks it's because women physiologically are more flexible than men. It's just kind of a fact of how our bodies work. And so it's possible that women were like, oh, I'm really good at this and I can do it much easier than a man. And so women felt like empowered by it. I think that's a big reason women are so into yoga. And I think a lot of it is yoga and a lot of mindfulness can be very emotional and cathartic and thoughtful. And I think in our society, there's so much toxic masculinity that men don't think that it's for them or that it's okay to be into those things, which it is, and they should be. But I think our society has so much toxic masculinity stuff going on that it's harder for a lot of men to express themselves in that way. I think a lot of women, we feel as though we need to continue to help people and nurture and give. We're the givers. And we don't take a lot of time for ourselves. And it's seen as selfish or taboo if you take time for yourself or if you want to be alone or something like that. People think, oh, you're selfish. Aren't you supposed to be with your family, your partner, your whatever? And give, help. And we're never allowed to help ourselves because it's seen as wrong or something, which I think is changing. Like that narrative is changing a lot. And so it's really important for me to create a space where women feel empowered to relax, to rejuvenate, and to understand that it is their right and they're allowed to give themselves permission to relax. Because if you don't relax and rejuvenate, recharge, re-energize, you can't give yourself to anyone else. You can't help anyone else at your full potential because you're running on half empty. And that's really detrimental to your physical, emotional health. And so it's important for women to learn that pausing is okay. Even entrepreneur women, and we're running around, we're doing things, we're hustling. It's so important for us to recharge because we can't give that big pitch or workshop if we're not fully rejuvenated.
So why is so important to you to share more of this practice, what you're doing to our LGBTQ community?
I think it's similar to helping women, is that there is a lot of stress and trauma with being LGBTQIA++. There's so much there. We walk through this world with stress and trauma and judgment, and whether that's every day, whether that we're lucky enough that we live in a place that we don't have to experience those things every day, but those things are happening to other people we know and love and other people we don't know in Chechnya and all over the world, and we carry that with us. We carry it with us, and it can be really heavy. And I think it's important for us too, as LGBT, to have joy, to have energy in life, because it's like almost also a form of protest. Like, we are joyful, we are happy, we are whole, amazing human beings, and you can't keep us down. We're going to keep showing up no matter what. And I think part of mindfulness is helping our community work through that trauma, stress, anxiety, depression that all goes along with what's going on in the world.
What is the kind of things that you're doing right now to bring that kind of support to our community?
So I really want to work with the Center on Halstead. I have been trying to email them about getting in there and doing either some meditation sessions or yoga sessions, either that's public where, you know, it's once a month or something and people can come, or as a service where people can make an appointment and do a one-on-one or maybe with a small group, so that people can have access to me there, which would be really, really great.
Yeah, I believe it's about visibility and representation, right? So how did you do that inside and outside our community?
That's a good question. Because it's funny because I do feel like the lesbian community and queer women in general were kind of invisible a lot of the time. And I think a big part of that is that there are a lot of public spaces for us to like be and to be seen. And so sometimes I do feel like, oh, I'm just walking through this world and no one knows and I'm just here. And other times I, you know, with little things to like make it known, like I'll post pictures of me and my girlfriend. I'll, you know, when I meet new people, I'll mention my girlfriend and like have conversations about that. And also connecting with other queer women is really important to me because strengthening your community, having someone to talk to, having that like ability to collaborate and to work together and build each other up is really important. So I work hard to collaborate and partner with other queer women, and I think that's really important because we want to show up for each other, and we should.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Yeah. So thank you for sharing all of that with us today. So because I'm excited because a lot of people are here, you know, from Chicago, but from different cities. So I think that's a part of Women to Women. So we can start being more visible and bring all together. So what kind of support do you need? Either for your business or either for personal or either like to bring more collaborations with queer women?
Ooh. I guess a few things. I would love to be connected to other queer women communities and organizations to either help organize a wellness retreat or mindfulness programming, yoga classes, things like that. I would be happy to work with them on. Yeah, and just connecting with people who are interested in that world of wellness and mindfulness, and anyone who is available to partner on events or who wants or is interested in private yoga classes, meditation, mindfulness coaching. I'm finishing my Reiki training this weekend, so I'm really excited.
Wow.
So yeah, any way that I can work with someone one-on-one in a group for their organization, I'm happy to connect and chat.
Wonderful. So tell us where we can find you. I'm going to put in all the information, but just tell us how they can find you, how they can connect with you.
Yes. So my website is wellnesswithmolly.me. And then on Instagram, Wellness with Molly. I'm really quick at answering messages there as well. And then I also have a Facebook. It's Wellness with Molly. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And all my events are listed. And I'm doing a group mindfulness series starting May 5th. So if you have any questions about that, I'd love to chat too.
Cool. But tell us a little bit more about that, what you're having, what is happening in May 5th.
So May 5th, I'm going to start a 6-week mindfulness series. So the first day, May 5th, everyone would meet together so you can get to know each other and get to know me in person, and you would get your journal and your gift bag with Palo Santo and a crystal to get your journey started. Mm-hmm. And then the next 4 lessons, for lack of a better word, are online. So you'll be able to download them and watch them at your leisure, whether you want to do it once a week and do the exercises once a week. And then the last one, at 6 weeks, we would meet again in person and get together and kind of do a creating your own mindfulness routine workshop and get to know each other a little better and talk about our experience. And during this whole series, even though you're doing it online, you can always call me. So I'm going to set up 30-minute calls once a week with everyone so that we can chat through anything you want to go over or talk about. And everyone will get a weekly meditation to go along with their lesson.
Cool. That sounds so fun. I would love it. So I think this is the perfect moment for you to share to everyone who's watching right now 3 different tips that people can start doing right now to start making a shift in their life. Something very simple, something that I can say, oh, I'm gonna do this right now. 3 different tips.
My top 3 things are meditate, and I know that's a whole thing and people are scared of it, but there are so many different ways to meditate. That can be in a yoga class. It could be a guided visual meditation where you're kind of walking through a forest and doing the thing like that. It could be a word that you're meditating on. It could be 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Anyone can do it, and I believe in you. Second thing is a gratitude journal. So gratitude journaling is just writing down a minimum of 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And it could be longer than 3 things. It could be paragraphs, but just getting that space of gratitude also brings you to your present awareness rather than the past or the future. You're focusing on right now. That's really, really great. And another thing that I would say is writing down your intentions. So thinking about what do you need, what do you want to focus on. Today is actually a really good day to do that because it's the new moon, and on the new moon it's a really good day to write down your intentions, and then on the full moon it's a really good time to write down things you want to let go of and what you want to put in their place. So you can kind of mark those things on your calendar so you know when to do them. And you can do it with your friends, you can do it alone. And
then you just tell me if you want to have the right or left.
Right.
My right. Okay. Ooh, nice.
How do you define intimacy? Ooh.
I know.
Well, I guess I'll start. My love languages are time, quality time, and touch. So I think for me, intimacy in a whole is like a deep, meaningful connection, like past all the small talk and really getting to know someone as their true self. But also for me, I show my love through spending quality time with people, whether that's coffee, talking on the phone, taking them out to lunch, and then physical touch. That could be anything from giving you a hug, holding hands, snuggling, like all of that is very great to me.
Nice. I love it. So, Molly, this has been amazing. And I think it's time for us to do a happy dance.
Oh, cool. Oh, my goodness. This is my song. I love this song. I love No One A. I love this song. It's so good.
Your booty do that yoga. Flex.
I said yoga. She did that yoga. Looking for my loafers, man. I woke up in a
Everybody, as we continue dancing with Molly, I will see you for the next conversation.
Thank you, Molly, for being with us. And I will see you very soon.
Thank
Bye.